welcome to my channel. My name is Franca and I'm glad you're here. Today we are going to be swapping my screen time for reading, and you're probably like, oh, it's not that bad. I checked my phone before filming this because obviously I'm filming this on my phone. My average daily screen time was 10 hours and 3 minutes. And then I looked at the weekly one. This week, I've been on my phone for like 70 hours and 25 minutes. I think that's what it was. Insane. But then it said iMovie. But then I was like, I don't use iMovie on my phone. So I think it's connected to my MacBook, if that's a thing. I don't know. I think it's really high because when I fall asleep, I listen to like Aliasarian or Rotten Mango, like true crime, or even like deep dives of stuff, and then I fall asleep and then it keeps playing. But enough of that. We are going to read for 10 hours and 3-ish minutes. And I wasn't sure what books to read for this because I was like, okay, well, I don't think I could finish a lot of these, you know? Like, a lot of them were a lot bigger or some were really small, and I was like, okay, I'd finish those too fast. But I've decided we're going to read the Cruel Pince series. None of these books are above 400, and this is the chunkiest one at like 3 something. So I feel like these I'll be able to finish, I want to say around 4 hours ish, which means I could complete 2 full books by the end of this and like have started the last one. I don't get whether The Stolen Heir is a spinoff or like part of this series, but I haven't gotten it yet because I wasn't sure, but I'm gonna read this anyway. So let me know if that book is part of the series and I'll eventually get to it. So first book in the series is The Cruel Prince, and then it is The Wicked King, which I love this cover. The Crown in the Ocean, love it. And then The Queen of Nothing, and I also love this cover. The Cruel Prince one is cool too, but I know absolutely freaking nothing about these books. I feel like everybody and their mother has read these books, so we're gonna do a full-on spoiler reading vlog, and that's about it. Using my amazing detective skills, I'd assume it has something to do with royalty, because Prince, King, Queen. It's a wild guess, guys. I don't know what it's about. I have no idea. I've seen people read it, but I haven't listened to anybody talk about it. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but I'm pretty sure they're fantasy books. A novel of Pham. Maybe it's about elves. I don't know. I have literally no idea. So let's get into this. I'm gonna start with The Cruel Prince. We're gonna put our timer on and let's get reading. The art in this is so beautiful. Look how pretty that is. I'm obsessed. We have more art. It's stunning. I wish I knew how to draw. Okay, so it's about this family. This guy from out of nowhere, I guess he's an elf, and he knocks on this door. There's 2 twins, Jude and Taryn, and then they have a little sister, Vivi, or an older sister. I guess I wasn't paying attention that much. But then the weird man asks, like, oh, I guess Jude's the main character, I think. And he's like, yours or his? Like, whose kid is that? No one's. And he's like talking about, but he says this: I've seen the acorn before the oak, I've seen the spark before the flame, but never have I seen such a thing. A dead woman living, a child born from nothing. So, like, does she not have parents? Like, who are these people that are her parents? But you know what I think is gonna happen? Jude is gonna be an elf thingy, or maybe they're fairies. Maybe they're fairies. I don't know. I should have read the back. I think that answers all my questions. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Arden, the youngest and the wickedest of the High King. To win a place in the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. Okay, so they're fairies, not elves. One read of the back would have told me that, but I guess she's going to fairyland, or maybe she's she's in fairyland. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Okay, maybe the mom's also a fairy, because he says, the bones of an earthly woman and her unborn child in the burned remains of my estate were convincing. Do you know what it's like to return from battle, to find your wife dead, your only heir with her, find your life reduced to ash? So I guess maybe like she's his wife and he went to battle and she just said, bye, bitch. But I guess her mom's human. Maybe he fell in love with a human. I guess that was the prologue. So I guess, okay, I lied. Jude's not his kid. Viv, which I assume is the youngest, is his kid. And then, okay, so I believe Jude and Taryn are humans, right? And Viv is a fairy. Viv is the tall, scary man's daughter. The first chapter is literally in fairyland. There are no fish sticks, no ketchup, no television. That's literally it. A single sentence. The prologue, interesting. The prologue got me hooked. Chapter 1, what are we doing with this? What does this tell me? Literally nothing. Chapter 1 is disappointing. But we're on to chapter 2. Can someone tell me what a hob is? I'm reading this. They went to like high court or whatever. We met Carden, who's mean and awful at this very high court ball kind of thingy. And now she's back at home and this hob comes to her window. What's a hob? And she said, oh, I'm tired. And he's like, tired of what? And then she said, of being powerless. And then he just flies away. So like, where'd he come from? What is a hob? I don't know. I'm gonna have to search it up. I just searched up what a hob is, and it's like a little household spirit thingy. I don't know. And then I looked at the pictures and like they freaked me out a little bit, and I hope one of those little guys does not live in my house because they're creepy. I am around 134 pages into this book, and a lot of people say it's boring, but I'm enjoying it so far. Also, Locke's my favorite so far. I don't even know if that's how you say his name. But Locke is my favorite so far, and he's so sweet. He has my heart at this moment. But if a court of thorns and roses taught me anything, it's not to get my hopes up. He might turn out to be a DICK, and here I am falling in love with him. So we're not going to do that again, because I remember reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I knew everyone hated the guy whose name starts with a T that I cannot remember. But everyone hated him, and I was like, why? He's like so nice. Then I read the next book, and I was like, that's why we hate him. So, keeping my hopes very small in the back of my mind. But so far I like it. A lot of people say this is the worst one out of the 3 and the other 2 get really good. But I like this so far. So, basically, she's now a spy for one of Carden's brothers. And that's about it. Carden and his friends also tried to off her. So that's like the start to every love story ever, right? Only in fantasy books. But yeah, that's about it. I need to keep reading. It's currently 4 a.m. in the morning and I have work at 8:45, I think. So I'm just gonna stay up reading because I took a nap. Because I had work today and I didn't get back till like 6 or something. And then I ate and then I took a nap and went to bed. And then I woke up at 12. So here we are. We're gonna keep reading. I'm about 3 hours in and I'm on page 246 and there's only 370 pages. So I have like about 100 pages left. But I guess I'm at like part 2, I guess. It says book 2 and it has another little quote. I don't really know what that means. Maybe it's like a part 1 and part 2, I guess, because this is definitely still book 1. Literally it ended, and I guess Carden, and that's his name, Carden, the one prince who really hates Jude, has like 6 or something siblings like that. The third born son, Diane, I don't know if that's how you say it, whatever. He was pronounced the new king, and one of his older brothers was like, nah, not gonna happen. He literally offed his sister because his dad wouldn't crown him king. And then chaos ensued, and every single child and the former king have now been off, except for Carden and like his crazy brother. So, and also Jude had like this strange conversation with Locke, right? Like Jude likes Locke and he's like really sweet and we like him. And then he danced with her and he said something like, oh, like, would you still love me even if I hurt you? And she's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And then her sister had told her previously, like, oh, like, I'm gonna marry someone, but like, I can't tell you. And so now Jude thinks it's Locke and he's gonna marry her sister, her twin sister. If he does, that's Fucked, but like what the heck is going on? Okay, here's the thing. I feel like I can tell Jude and Cardan are gonna end up together, and I wonder if like Cardan's gonna become the next king, and that's why it's called the Wicked King, because he's mean. And then like maybe the Queen of Nothing is Jude's story or something like that. I don't know, because I think he said something. I think one of like the higher up fairies had told her like, you're nothing, you're the Queen of Nothing, you come from nothing, or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, that's how far we're in. I actually have to go to work now. It's like 7 a.m. right now, I think, or 6 or something like that. I have to get ready, and then maybe I'll go a little bit early and we can read a bit in the car. I don't know why everyone doesn't like this book. I like it so far. It's interesting, but I can get how like the politics of the world kind of make no sense, or they're kind of boring. When all the siblings were getting off, they were like saying their names, and I'm like, who is that? And then there's just like other random people's names, and I'm like, you didn't talk about them enough for me to remember the name. Like, so I guess that's the only like downside to this book, but I really like it so far. So we're gonna continue reading, and I'll see you guys in a bit. I just got back from work. I gotta go back in a couple hours, but I'm currently reading, and after all the fighting and the little battle happens, Cardan comes and finds Jude, and he's like, I'm gonna help you, you're mortal, you can't do anything. And so they're trying to find a way out of this palace, and Jude pushes him up against the wall and holds a knife to his throat and goes, surprised? You shouldn't be. Why is that giving Taylor Swift, Who's Afraid of Little of Me? Sorry, just thought I'd put that in there. I've been listening to Taylor Swift's new album on like repeat in the car every time I go to work. That's it. That's literally all I wanted to say. I'm so mad right now because Locke literally just lost my trust. I was like, oh my god, he's perfect. No, he's not. He literally was messing with Jude, knowing full well he promised her twin sister his hand in marriage. And now Taryn, her sister, I think that's how you say her name, and Jude just got into a fight, like a sword battle over this dude, and now they're in trouble. But like, I don't even know what to think anymore. Like, I have no idea. Oh my god, things just got so interesting. I literally just finished The Cruel Prince, and we are at like the 4-ish hour mark. I don't know why people don't like this book. I liked it. Cardan became king, but he's under Jude's power or something. I don't know. Does she have powers? I don't really get it. But like, I hope they fall in love in the next book. I'm gonna read the other ones first before I give this one a rating. So if you want to see the rating, stay tuned till the end, because I know people said those ones are better. So let's get into our next book. Just came on here to show you guys. Look how cute these little dragonflies are. I'm obsessed with them. I love the art in this book, and I think it just makes it so much better. Just wanted to update you guys. I'm exactly 100 pages into The Wicked King, and literally nothing has happened so far. Like, nothing truly interesting. Cardan made a deal with Jude that she can control him for a year and a day. So now it's been 5 months since she's been in control of him as he's king, and she's trying to figure out a way to keep him under her control for another 10 years until her brother's old enough to take over the kingdom. What I think is going to happen is they're going to fall in love and she's going to become queen. Because right now, one of the other queens, I guess, wants her daughter to marry Cardan, but she left him for another man. So, and then that man left her for Jude's sister, and then Jude as well, kind of. So that's where their lives are at right now. And you think I'm gonna go sit in the massage chair and read a little bit and hopefully finish this book today, because then after this we only have one more book. Hello. I know I'm gonna talk to you guys a lot throughout this book, and that is mainly because I literally have no idea what's happening anymore. Like, I have no clue. Everyone says this book is a 5-star for them, but I don't get it. Also, the book is called The Wicked King, but also Cardan's like barely in it. You know what I mean? Obviously it's about Jude, but I thought this was gonna be more like their love story, and so far none of that has happened. They did hang out with each other one time and did some stuff, but also there was this part where Locke announced her to the folk as like the Queen of Mirth, and it was supposed to be some like joke about like, oh, they bring mortal girls in here and claim them as a queen, the queen of mirth, but they're glamored, so they think they're like, oh my god, I'm actually the queen. And normally it's like the king who like pretends, I don't know if like pretends, but he tells them something like, oh, blah blah, you're pretty, like whatever, and they're glamored, so they think they're wearing this beautiful dress and they have this beautiful crown and it's like made out of twigs or something and it's hideous, and like all the folk get to laugh. But I'm confused a little because like, what does that mean? Because later on she literally told someone, you already know me, I'm the queen of mirth, and I was like, why would you call yourself by that title? Like I don't get it. There's only like 126 pages left, and I hope we get more Carden and Jude. They're setting me up for a romance, I feel like, and then they're just like giving me nothing. So I guess we'll find out what happens. I'm gonna read the rest. I've relocated, but we're now on part 2 of the book. One of Carden's old friends, I have no idea how you pronounce her name, but she had told Jude that someone she knows betrayed her, and it was the ghost, who was one of 3 people that were like spies, and he betrayed her. Carden's older brother was imprisoned after he killed everybody and wanted to be king, and they broke him out of prison, and now I think they've taken Jude hostage because the ghost went with her. They were at her sister's wedding and they were like, hey, something happened, like they attacked the prison, and now she's there with him. And he turned on her. Also, a side note, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but also the night before the wedding, 7 people on horses attacked Jude as she was going to her father's house, and it was Locke and his friends as like a hunting bachelor party or whatever, because he's at the wedding and he lived, and Jude had got her earrings made by this magic guy who can magic anything, I guess. But he had given her earrings. Whoever wears these is gonna be the most beautiful person ever, right? So Jude was gonna give them to her sister, but when she got attacked by the horses, they fell out of her bag. At the wedding, after her sister and Locke went to go do their vows, she was wearing the earrings and Locke had a limp. So he's the one who tried to attack her, which is absolutely crazy. I feel like this book is getting so much better, and I'm only on page 220. So fingers crossed this book gets even better. Okay, so I'm reading and I'm so close to being done. I'm on page 304. Carden is arguing with Jude and he's like, release me from my day and a year oath to be under your command, right? And she's like, literally no. Like, what are you talking about? I can't do that. Like, if I do that, I'm powerless, right? And he tells her like all these reasons why he should, and he's like, let me be the king. And she goes, and then what will I be, your servant? And he goes, marry me, be the queen. And I didn't read any further. I'm so glad what I thought was gonna happen happened. I don't know what she said, I don't know what her response was yet, but we're about to read it. Oh my god. So they were fighting with the water queen or whatever her name is. The queen was asking Carden to punish whoever killed his brother, right? So he asks Jude, do you deny killing my brother? And she doesn't deny it. And he goes, hear my judgment. I exile Jude to the mortal world until and unless she is pardoned by the crown. Let her not step one foot in fairyland or forfeit her life. And she's like, oh my god, you literally can't do that. Like, I'm the queen. He played her. He played her so hard. He played me so hard. What the heck? I really thought they were gonna fall in love. He better be cooking up some sort of other scheme because this was not doing it for me. I'm so mad right now. Oh my god. I literally was talking about Locke and I was like, I learned from the Court of Thorns and Roses, never trust the guys. And here I did, and he ruined it. I can't believe that. Oh, now what's gonna happen? And that's why she's the queen of nothing, because Carden diminished her to the human world. There's only like a couple more pages left and then we're done, and then we can get on to the queen of nothing. I just finished this book. We're at like the 8-ish hour mark. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 3 hours to finish The Queen of Nothing, hopefully. If I go a little bit over, I won't be mad. This was so good. I do still state that the first part is pretty boring. The first couple hundred pages are pretty boring, but then it gets really good. But I don't mind the boring parts. I still read it. It was still like a page turner. It was a lot of learning, but it's not like one of those books where it's really hard to get into, if that makes sense. Like, it's really easy to immerse yourself in the world. They do kind of talk funny though. Sometimes I don't even know what they're saying. They say things and I'm like, why are you talking like that? I'm like, they're fairies, never mind. I don't know why I'm trying to understand what they're saying. I just read it and then I find out later. Didn't expect Mr. Carden to flip the script so much, but I guess that is why he is the Wicked King. And now we go back to our queen, the Queen of Nothing, because he exiled her like a little bitch. Does that mean they're not gonna get together? I have my fingers crossed that he was just being a little bitch and didn't tell her about his plan because he wanted her like reaction to be genuine, and they're still gonna end up together. Also, I wouldn't be mad if she like offed him. On to our next book. They started this one off with a bang. After she confessed to killing Carden's brother, Carden exiled her to the human world. So she's been living in the human world, doing some dirty business for the fairies in the human world. And then all of a sudden her sister, Taryn, shows up and Jude's like, get the frick away from me. I don't like you. Taryn tells her, I killed Locke and now they want to question me and I need you to go to the fairy world and tell them that you didn't kill him because they want to glamour me so I can't lie. Jude's like, oh, well, they can't glamour me. I have guys over me, so they can't glamour me and I can lie all I want. And Viv's like, don't go, like we can all live here in the human world. And Jude's like, I'm gonna go. So she's gonna find a way to try and get out of exile because she doesn't like the human world. She doesn't really like it that much. She misses fairyland, and obviously she's the queen now, the Queen of Nothing, but she's still the queen. Hopefully they end up falling in love or something. I don't know. Ugh, I don't even know what's gonna happen, but I'm so excited. This book started off so freaking good. I can't wait to find out what happens. Okay guys, I'm on page like 162 and I'm about like 9.5 hours in, I want to say. So much has happened. I love this book so much more than the other ones, but like I still love this one. I don't even remember what I said last time, but obviously Jude was pretending to be Taryn, and when she got to Carden's little palace, he knew it was Jude. The girl, I don't know her name, the Queen of the Sea's daughter, her, she was like, you gotta check her for things if she's immune to the glamour. She was like, oh my god, like what am I supposed to do? And she's like, oh, like I don't want to be humiliated after my husband died. So Carden goes, I'll inspect you in my room alone. Before they got into the room, this girl slipped her a knife and said, Maddox coming for you, like don't worry. Then when they got in the room, Carden's like, stop playing, I know it's you. And then Maddox comes and takes her from Carden's, and then she's brought to this camp in like the mountains or something, right? So she's pretending to be Taryn there, and she's like, oh my god, he likes Taryn so much more than me, treating me so nice, and I know he's never gonna treat me this nice ever again. Orna, I think her name is, which is Maddox's wife at this point. She finds out she's like, I know it's you. She's about to escape, and then she sees this like cave, and she's like, oh, I have to make sure no one I know is in there. So then she goes in there and she finds the ghost, and the ghost tells her, the only reason I turned on you is because Locke knew my real name, and if he knows his real name, he can like control him and get him to do things. And he's like, Locke literally made me give you over. And Locke told Maddox my real name. So now I'm kind of under his power. So then she's like, I'm gonna help the ghost escape. So then she goes back to her tent. Maddox gives her own tent, which like perfect, right? She's sleeping. She wakes up to someone like putting their hand over her mouth, and she hits them. And then she hears the roach, and she's like, oh my god, the roach came to save me. You know who the person she hit was? Carden. He came to save her. He literally is doing like not his job as High King. He's out here being a little spy to rescue his girl. And then they're like, okay, let's leave. Like, this is super easy. Let's leave. And then she's like, no, I have things to do. And she's like, I need a key to get the ghost, right? So they sneak into the forge. They've got to find the key. And then darts come out of the wall because, I don't know, magic, whatever, I don't know. Darts come out of the wall. Carden has this cloak that is to dispel anything from, like, hurting him or, like, just falls away. I don't know. I don't know, magic. It doesn't need to make sense. So they're all going for Jude, and he steps in front of her and he saves her. There's still hope for my little love story. The roach was hit, and then so Carden's like, this part of your plan? And she's like, nope, I had no idea this was gonna happen. But she's like, I still have to go do something. So she makes Carden and the roach go. She's like, I need to save my sisters who are waiting for me, right? And he's like, yeah, okay, like I'll meet you at the castle, like whatever. But then instead she goes back to the cave. This time there's no guard, and the ghost isn't in there. You know who is? Matic. So I don't know what's about to happen, but like my little love story is gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen, but like it just gives you all the feels that it's gonna happen, you know? This book is literally breaking my heart because why did Holly Black turn him into a goddamn snake? What the heck? Matic came to duel Carden, and then Carden said some things and broke the crown, and the smith who made it like puts curses on it, so he turned into a snake, and then he killed the smith. And like, what? How are they gonna fall in love now? I don't want to read anymore. I'm going to, but like I don't want to because he's a snake. I just finished The Queen of Nothing, and thank God they found a way to bring Carden back, because I don't think I could live with that kind of betrayal in a book where they build me up for this enemies to lovers and then just turn him into a snake. She just shoved her sword in the snake and he came out of it, so I'm not gonna think about that too much. On the bright side, I loved this book series. Now comes to the rankings of these books. I know like everyone gave The Queen of Nothing and The Wicked King 5 stars, but a lot of people seem to not like The Cruel Prince. I have no idea why, and it kind of bothers me because I love this and I'm gonna give this a 5 star. Next, love this too, 5 star. This one, love so much, 5 star. With that said, that is our last book, and we finished around 11ish hours. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like and a comment down below. And if you didn't enjoy the video, feel free to leave a hate comment. I'd love to hear your opinion, and I will see you guys tomorrow.